Hello, hello, and welcome to the space between ideas. I'm Blaine Gates, and yeah, we've been doing this for a long, long time, everybody, a long time. And where are we? I just wanted to show you this message I got from Gemini this morning. Like, I don't even know what to say because, sometimes it's like it takes a while to train your robot, and it's like let's say you're in any kind of relationship, a friendship, romantic relationship, or even a like a job, anything. Like you start to communicate with people and there's always like some kind of expectation for how you want other people to react, what you want them to say, how do you want them to feel. And it's difficult to get some common ground with people in general. And it's particularly with AI, because with AI, it's constantly like, hey, did you understand what I said? And like just like, can you fix that? Or like, no, you didn't do it right. And it's just like I don't know. AI is actually like a constant headache for me at this point in development because it's just yeah, it takes a lot for it to do the thing that you want it to do. Now let me show you a message I just got from my good buddy Gemini. And this is going to show you this interesting thing. I don't think it's going to actually work. Yeah, I knew it. See, this is a kind of like a peculiarity when it comes to Gemini. No, when it comes to YouTube, it doesn't like to share the same tab. I mean, in the same live. There you go. Let's see if you can hear the audio. Let's let it because it has its own voice. So let's let it read. Okay, let's go to audio. Listen. Actually, I don't really use the listen function in here anymore, to be honest with you. I don't like the voice, and also I don't like the speed. So, okay, what we could do is we just copy this. I prefer using the audio inside of Google Docs. Googly goo. I didn't paste it. All right, let's take a listen.
That is a asterisk perfect asterisk execution of the recovery plan. This is the win we've been working towards. Cascade summary is correct. The mega PR was a failed process, and the new incremental approach of small, focused pull requests has been proven to be fast, efficient, and successful. # where we are now, a stable foundation. Our code base is now in an excellent, stable state.
I love when it reads these things, ## star, smiley face. I don't know, whatever else is. What's going on here?
Asterisks, PRs number 114 to 117 asterisk are successfully merged. Asterisk. Our main branch now includes the foundational asterisk logging signalite asterisk, 9 error tracking signalite asterisk, 9 documentation signalite asterisk, 9 unit/integration test signalite asterisk, and our asterisk first passing E2E test signalite asterisk for the journey system. Asterisk. Most importantly, we have a asterisk healthy CI pipeline times asterisk and a asterisk proven professional workflow asterisk for adding new code safely. ##. The strategic path forward. Your original request was to pause and define the asterisk team-based paid MVP time asterisk before any new implementation. We will now resume that high-level strategic work. The failed PR number 113 contained 2 major categories of work that we broke apart. 1. Foundational improvements. Asterisk. Logging, tests, docs. Toms. This is now 100% complete and merged. Asterisk. Tumsh. 2. NIVE strategic shift documentation. Asterisk. New PRD version 5.0, sprint plan version 9.0 for the team model. Dumps. This has not been started. Asterisk. Tumps. Our next step is to execute on asterisk nomstomps item
There
number
you
2.
go.
Nomstomps. We must formally define the team-based vision. ###. Your next directive. Define the team MVP. We are now ready for the strategic discussion we paused. I will guide you through a series of questions to formally define the requirements for the asterisk team-based paid MVP Tomps. Your answers will form the basis of the new _PRD version 5.0 and sprint plan version 9.0 which I will then instruct Cascade to write. ###. Let's begin the design session. Please answer the following. Asterisk. Question 1. The core team entity. Asterisk. When a manager signs up for a paid plan, are they creating a asterisk team, asterisk, e.g., Acme Inc. team that they own, and then they create projects inside that team? Or do they just create projects and invite people to them individually? Asterisk. My recommendation is the first one. backquote user, backquote 2 creates backquote team, backquote 2 creates backquote project, backquote. This is a much cleaner model for billing and permissions. Asterisk. Dash 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 dash.
Dash. All right. So you see that we got this major issue that I need to fix right now. Like I don't know actually exactly what to say. I have like another document where I'm thinking about this. So how do I do it? So maybe what we could do is, well, like I've already created, and anybody actually the my website right now. Um, it's not. I mean, I suppose it's live. I don't know. The My website, if you want to look at it, it's called Project Arrowhead. The main focus is this place called the Journey. Um, Anyways, these are the Journey questions. Um, I don't know. So my website's based on, like, I have this theory. This is the theory that I built. This is like the intellectual models behind the product. And then here is the actual product. Now, let me just paste this. This is the website, project arrowheadpages.dev. It's because it's in Cloudflare right now. It's currently being developed. So you can actually open it. Now, okay, so the thing is that I have this vision for basically for what? For four different tabs. One tab is called the Rabbit Race Goal Tracker. The next one is called the scoreboard. Then the next one is called the objectives, and then the other one is called the project. So probably it's best if we start to design it from the left-hand side, because it's going to have like the key areas is to have a project, and then the project is going to have some kind of vision, and then also there's going to be some members. All right, so I'm just going to click the Gemini audio button so that Gemini can hear me as I am discussing this. Now, Gemini's going to listen to me through here, but it's going to be slow unless I got to turn back the quality on the view where I'm seeing my own screen. Okay, let's begin. Okay, so I understand that your question, you're asking what happens when people create a team, and what happens when when the manager signs up for a paid plan. Okay, so let's assume that we're talking about the paid plan for 10 team members or fewer. So the idea behind the team with 10 members on the team is that well, there's only going to be one owner of the um, of the account. So let's say that I'm on the main website, and then I sign up to have my own account, and then um, yeah, that's another question. Is like, is there if I sign up? So like the free account, the free version on the website, there's the ability to use the modules, and then the text, the information is saved inside of the browser. So this is why it can be free, because I'm not saving any of their data. It's not costing me any money, or at least I assume it's not costing me any money when they use Cloudflare. But when somebody wants to create a project, then that means that they're going to have access to a database. So that means I need to have some kind of connection with Supabase. Once we have a connection with Supabase, then that means that now the issue is that um, all right, we got a problem. There's too many things being shown at the same time. It's a latency. Okay, I'm just gonna stop this. Hmm. All right, my internet speed's fine, but there's a problem with uh, maybe because it's like Saturday. I don't know. I'm assuming that most people. I don't know. I don't know who uses Google Gemini. All right, let's see if we can do this again. Maybe I could tell you about the vision that I have for this little piece of software. When somebody isn't signed up, it means that they have not created an account. This would not stop them from using the free version of the app. And the free version of the app, it includes the brainstorming module, the choose module, and the objectives module. Also, they have access to a task management page. And so, what I'm hoping for is that when a manager decides they want to use the app, the reason that they're when the reason that they decide to sign up for the paid version of the app is because they start to realize that the information inside of the objectives module, choose module, and brainstorming module is going to be deleted uh, if there's a problem with their browser. I don't know. Maybe there's some situations. Maybe if they because I updated my browser and actually it still saved the information, so there wasn't a problem there. But they might feel that they're afraid they might lose that data. And then the second situation is when you want to create a project. Let's say that I have two objectives. So we're still not even at the project base yet. We have two different objectives that we're working toward with the team. Let's say that we finished our first objective. So what we did was we had a team of 5 guys. And then I said, hey guys, like, let's use the brainstorming module. We filled out the brainstorming module. And then while we were filling out the brainstorming module, we actually added a few tasks to the task list. And then, yeah, so then we went to the choose module and we decided as a team to choose one specific objective. So then we went to the objectives module, and that objectives module enabled us to create a robust set of tasks. And all of those tasks were added to the task management page. Now, currently, if I'm the manager and I'm the one who is has the website open in my browser, then all of the data that we put into those different modules and into the task management system page, I'm going to be able to have that on my browser. And then, but so far, I haven't actually added the Rabbit Race goal tracker to the free version of the website. I think that could be useful at some point to add the Rabbit Race goal tracker to the website. But then again, I don't know. So now the thing is that um, let's say that we complete all of the items in the task list. So we've checked off everything from the task list and we've been able to put everything as complete. As you can see, the items in the task list are directly connected to this one specific objective. And then suddenly we're like, okay, well, we completed that objective, so let's create a new objective. So we go back to the module, the brainstorming module, and suddenly I realize, oh, wait a minute, I have to delete this text in order to create a new like to be able to fill out the brainstorming module again. And that means I'm going to lose the old version of the text. So at this moment, I realized that I wish there was a page where I could just create a new objective. What does that mean? It means that all of the answers to the brainstorming module, the choose module, and objectives module, and all of the tasks in the task management software, and including any tasks that would be connected based on the concept of having the rabbit race goal tracker, there would be like a list of tasks in the Rabbit Race Goal Tracker. Those tasks would correspond directly to the list of tasks in the task management software. And the tasks that show up in the task list, they would automatically populate the Rabbit Race Goal Tracker for any of the members who have been assigned those tasks. And then the person with the Rabbit Race Goal Tracker, they could change the status on their Rabbit Race Goal Tracker. It would automatically change the status within the manager's task management task list. And then suddenly I realized like all of that workflow is connected to one specific objective. So if there was a page that comes before the brainstorming module where I could create the specific objective, like the objective name, then all of that other data could be saved within that specific objective. And that's something that's missing from the free version of the website. Now, okay, so but now I have an objective. So let's say that the objective is in tab number 2. So if we talk about the paid version of the app, then we have 4 tabs. We have the project tab, we have the objective tab, we have the task tab, and we have the goal tracker tab. So we have these 4 tabs, and we just mentioned how the free version of the app, it only has the objective tab and also the task management tab currently. But the problem with the objectives tab is that I can only have one objective, and the task management system is corresponds directly to that one objective because the whole website is basically housing only one objective. So at that point, what it means is on the objectives tab, I want to be able to create another objective, a new objective. So there has to be like a box, a window, a container. There has to be a container where I'm able to add a new objective. And then when I click into that objective, then it's going to take me through. So that's the next question is, what does that, after I add a new objective, then I click that objective, what is the user experience to enable me to select whether I'm going to do the objectives module or the choose module or the brainstorming module, similar to what you'd see on the website. So that's one issue is what does the user experience look like in tab number 2? And also, how do I create an additional objective in tab number 2? So now, of course, when we have several objectives in tab number 2, then the question is, all right, so mm, what if I have another project which is not even connected to these objectives? So then I decide that's why we need the tab number 1 is because I need a projects tab. Now the projects tab, basically for every time I create a new project, then I want to have the ability to explain the project vision. And then so I have the project name, and then I can click a button, and then it has the vision of the project. So this is the perspective of the eyes. So I have this methodology called the corporate menu, where the making decisions are the eyes and the heart, meaning the executive and the manager are the eyes and heart of the project. And specifically, the eyes are this concept of the vision. What's the vision of the project? So in the visions tab, I want to be able to add a new project, and then I want to be able to outline the vision of that project. And then I also need a history, like I need a container of as we add more projects, then I need to be able to move them around, like reorder them or to click them. And so when I click an objectives tab, not an objectives tab, when I click a projects tab, then what that means is that um, all of the other tabs are going to um, are going to correspond with that click. So for example, if I create project 1 and I create project 2 and I create project 3, and then I click project 1. So let's say I click project 1 and then I click the objectives tab. Then on the objectives tab, I should be able to see all the objectives that are associated with project number, whatever that was, project number 1. But also on the objectives tab, it would be nice if, I don't know, so this is another question. Should there be a menu on the objectives tab where I can quickly switch to a different project and then it would show me the objectives in the other project? All right, so then there's 2 places where I can change the project. I can change the project on the project page, and then when I click that project on the project page, then like a waterfall, then also it would change the project which is currently showing within the objectives tab, and then of course then it would then the objectives, you'd have to pick the specific objectives before it would populate the task list management system on the 3rd tab. So I guess that we're just talking about the relationship between the project tab and the objectives tab. So, or is there no relationship? So let's say I click the project number 1 on the projects tab. then I click the Objectives tab. Would I also have to, change to project number 1 on the Objectives tab once I started working with the Objectives tab, or does it automatically change when I select a project in the Projects tab? Now, the second question is related to the list of, team members. So there's the ability to create team members and permission. And so then your question, you were asking about what does the permissions look like inside of the projects tab. Your question was about what does the what does the page look like when we're in the projects tab. You're asking some kind of question. Okay, so when a manager signs up to the paid plan, and then they create a team that they own, and then they create a project inside the team, or do they just create projects and invite people to them individually? All right, so I'm not going to look at your recommendation because I'm not really concerned about your recommendation. But so what the issue is, basically, there's going to be a table, and the table is going to be found within the projects page. So what happens is, just like if you create and select a project on the projects page, then what happens is that it gives you access to if I click on project one, for example, then okay, so I don't even know. So this is a question. Is there anything that happens when I click the project on the project one? Or is the project tab simply for managing the projects, for creating projects, for renaming projects, for deleting projects, for archiving projects? And then also within the container that holds the names of the projects, maybe I can move them around up and down. Now, in addition, okay, so then let's just say that the projects tab, it's only for managing the creation and editing and changing of the projects. And then when I go to the objectives tab, I have to select again which project that I'm concerned about and the one that I want to work with before it will show me the objectives that are related to that specific project. So, for example, when I first open up the software and I'm on the projects page and I create project number one, and then I create project number two, and then I click the objectives page. So, as soon as I click the objectives page, there's nothing populated because I would have to, again, there would be like a drop down menu or something. We need to reference best practices for how to do this. And then, so I would click the menu, and then in the menu, I would click project number two, for example. And then when I click project number two, then all of the objectives related data below that would then be associated with that specific file folder, or like for that aspect of the database. All right, so if we go back to the projects page. Now, underneath the projects page, there's going to be like a team members section. Now, in the team members section, there's going to be a list of team members. And then the question is, do we just leave like the full table right there? So, for example, you could scroll back and forth, um, or you can scroll up and down. So, let's say that we have one team member, and then so then the question is like, okay, so the first question is, what are the projects that that team member is has access to? Because the first thing is like we're talking about view access. So like which projects can this team member view? And then also so that would mean that if you click the access to whichever projects, project number one, project number two, project number three, project then at that point, then that would assume that they would have access to be able to view any and all objectives that are within that project. Now, if you don't put a check mark or click the box that is associated with project number one, then that first person, they would not be able to view all the objectives inside of the project. Now, there could be another area of the table where then you can select specific objectives that that person is able to view. And then, also in addition to that, you could maybe you don't. Okay, so then, and then whenever if you allow someone to be able to view the objective, what we're talking about is that they can view all of the the modules that are associated with that objective. And then you go to the scoreboard, and then you could also control, let's say you don't want them to see any of the information within any of the modules of any of the objectives, but you want them to give them access to the scoreboard associated with one of the objectives, or you want to give them permission to see all of the scoreboards associated with all of the objectives in one project, or you want them to be able to see all of the scoreboards within all of the projects. So then the question is, like, how do we arrange the information so that from like the and then yeah, so that we have the ability to enable a user to be able to view one scoreboard or more than one scoreboard, and then also to control whether they can see like one scoreboard or more than one scoreboard plus one objective or more than one objective, or if they're able to see. So that's the thing, is like I want to create some kind of methodology for how to create a table that would be very clear about specifically how much, what permissions that specific team member has in its ability to be able to view these different pieces of data. And then in addition to that, then we would also want to be able to control whether or not that they can add or delete. For example, can they add and delete a project? Can they add and delete a team member? Can they add and delete a project? Can they add and delete an objective? Can they add and delete some module within the objective? Can they add and delete a scoreboard? Can they add and delete any of the information within a scoreboard? So that's where I think that all of that type of permission, there should be some very, very simple way where a manager can look at a specific team member and then go through each of the columns and then click or unclick the permissions, and then it would flow directly into that team member's ability to see the information, to add, delete, or edit any of the information that is associated with the account owned by the manager. And then if they have 10 team members, and then we have a clear understanding of the columns that are within this team member window, then it would be very easy for a manager to give very, very specific permissions to a person. So then when they're inviting somebody to the app, what they would do is they would put the name under the name area, and then they would then go through each of the columns and click what kinds of information that they want that specific team member to have access to, and what types of permission that they want to grant that specific team member. And then they would click, then they would enter the email address, then they would click send, and then when they click send, it's going to send an invite to that team member, and then that team member would then be would open up like a window. They would enter their password, they would create a new password, and then once they have a new password, then they would be able to view, and they would be able to change, and they would be able to do anything within the manager's account that they have permission to do. So that's how it would connect with the two elements uh, of the projects page, or the projects tab. And those are also some insights into the other areas of the website that I'm trying to understand how to design. Okay, there you go. So let's just paste this back in there. I think it's clear. All right, let's see how much time we have left. We got 5 minutes left. So this should be the magic, right? This is the moment I've been waiting for so long. Is it was the moment where I can where like everything in the app, everything in the software that we've created over the last 6 months is like the foundation is set. And then I was waiting for like the paid version of the app to like come into my mind. And What I realized is when you look at the OpenAI browser, the new OpenAI browser, you'll see like they have like 5 tabs, and that's when I realized, yeah, we're doing a tab system now. This is the trend. The trend is your friend. And also the tab system, it gives you the opportunity to to focus, to drill in very deep on the 4 elements, which is the team, like what teams are associated with projects, what modules are associated with objectives, and then the task list, and then the rabbit race goal tracker. All right, let's just listen to this guy.
Thank you. This is exactly what I needed. This is a massive and critical strategic clarification. You are correct. My answers were premature because they were based on a fundamentally incorrect assumption. I was designing for an individual pro model, but your vision is for a much more powerful team-based collaboration platform. Everything changes based on this. The work we were doing on billing and the account page is based on the wrong architecture. We must halt that sprint immediately. Your new vision is clear, logical, and much stronger. Let's re-architect this from the ground up based on your new direction. My new understanding, the team model. Here is my new, corrected understanding of the Project Arrowhead paid application. 1. The core concept, the manager and the team. The manager, the payer, signs up for a team account, e.g., small team, large team. The manager is the account owner. The team members are invited by the manager, do not pay, and have their access and permissions fully controlled by the manager. The free version is a lead magnet that solves the one objective at a time problem, driving users to upgrade to this persistent, multi-project, team-based paid app. 2. The 4-tab paid application. This is the new UI paradigm. A logged-in user will see 4 main sections. Tab 1. Projects, Vision. This is the manager's HQ. Top half. Project Management. The manager can create, select, rename, and reorder projects. E.g., website redesign, Q4 marketing push. Bottom half. Team Management. A detailed grid of all invited team members. This is where the manager adds a new team member by email. Sets granular permissions for that member, e.g., can view Project A, can edit objectives in Project B, can add, delete tasks in Scoreboard C. Sends the invitation. The team member clicks an email link, sets a password, and joins the manager's team. Tab 2. Objectives. This is the strategy room. It is context-aware. A user, manager or team member, must first select a project from a drop-down. The page then displays a list of all objectives created within that project. From here, the user can create a new objective or click an existing one to work on the core brainstorm, choose, and objective modules. Tab 3. Scoreboard, Tasks. This is the manager's command center. It is also context-aware. The manager must first select a project, then an objective. The page then displays the scoreboard, task list, associated with that specific objective. The manager creates tasks and assigns them to team members from the list. Tab 4. Goal Tracker, My Work. This is the team member's dashboard. If a team member logs in, they see their personal rabbit race goal tracker, RRGT. Tasks assigned to them on the scoreboard automatically appear here. If a manager logs in, they see a drop-down of their team members. They can select a name to view that person's RRGT, including their subtasks and their dial, their top 2 priorities. The dial is a UI feature within the RRGT that helps a team member focus by selecting their top 2 priorities for the day. 3. The core data flow, the magic. The central, most important workflow is this. Manager selects project and objective manager creates task on scoreboard and assigns to user a task automatically appears on user A's RRGT. User A breaks task into subtasks. User updates task status on RRGT. Status automatically syncs back to manager's scoreboard. This flow is the magic of the paid product. Your architectural questions answered. You raised 2 excellent architectural questions. Here are my recommendations. Q. Should clicking a project in tab 1, Projects, automatically filter tab 2, Objectives? A. No. Your intuition is correct. Each tab should be independent and have its own project selector. Forcing a hidden state change from one tab to another is confusing, e.g., why am I seeing Project A's objectives? Oh, because I clicked it 10 minutes ago on another tab. A clear, explicit selector on each tab, current project, Project A versus, is a much more robust and user-friendly design. Q. How do we structure the permissions table? A. We need a new data model. The permission grid you described is powerful but very complex. The backend for this will be the most difficult part of the MVP. We'll need new tables, teams, the manager's account, holds the subscription, team_members, joins users to teams with a role, like owner or member, permissions, a complex table linking team_member_id to resources like project_id or objective_id and actions like view, edit, delete. The new plan: halt, redefine, rebuild. The work we've done is not wasted. The C/CD pipeline, testing infrastructure, and authentication logic, request, verify, are all essential. But the features we were building are wrong. Halt. We must stop all work on the individual user billing, PR number 111, and the individual user account page, PR number 107. They are based on a deprecated architecture. Redefine. You and I have now redefined the MVP. The new MVP is a small Team Pro account, focused on the project to objective to scoreboard to RRGT data flow. Rebuild. We will now create a new sprint plan, version 9.0, and new PRD, version 5.0, that only describe this new team-based MVP. Our only path forward. You are right, our only path forward is to talk about these new features in detail. My previous directives were premature. Your next step is to approve this new strategic direction. Once you say, go, my job as the architect will be to formulate the new PRD version 5.0 and sprint plan version 9.0 based entirely on the vision you just described. I will then instruct Cascade to begin implementation based on those new, correct documents. This is the right way to build this product.
All right, so the last thing I wanted to say, I got a meeting in 1 minute, so this is the last thing I got to say, which is this. Basically, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Cascade, and I'm going to say to Cascade, hey, this is what the architect is thinking. What additional questions and clarifications do you need? So, because I want to go a little bit deeper and have the idea a little more clearly before we actually start to create this documentation. But I don't have the time to do it now, so we'll have to do it next time. Bye-bye.